So a little bit of real talk here. I don't know if I have ever struggled to figure out if I like a game as much as I have with Mythwind. That doesn't mean it's not a good game. It's a fantastic game. I just don't know if I like what it is, but what it is, it does so incredibly well. I had some misconceptions going in. It was not what I expected it to be. And because of that, it was a little bit of a letdown. But after a few games of playing it, I'm enjoying it more than I did at the beginning. And because of that, I think the heart of this video, what I want to do is not necessarily go into the in-depth nitty-gritty of how to play, but I want to let you know what Mythwind is and what it isn't so that you can decide how you want to spend your money. I think as a reviewer, the best thing that I can do is just give you information, because if this is a one and done game for you, that's a big investment and that's some sunk cost. The game is about $100 with shipping. It's on Kickstarter right now, all the way up to I think $300 or $400 with all in for the expansions and just everything that's available. And that's a lot of money if you're going to play it once, be let down by it and put it on the shelf. But if this is your game, if you love what this game is trying to do, that's a fantastic value, because there is a lot of game here. I think I just had the wrong perception of what it was going into it. So with that, let's talk about Mythwind. So what is Mythwind, and more importantly, what is it not? It is not a heavy narrative-focused campaign game, and that's what I expected from it. I thought it was going to be a more kind of your typical 12 campaign or specific number of games that you're playing through a campaign that's going to have an evolving narrative and a story underneath it. There is a story there, but it's not a campaign type story. It's not a narrative heavy game. What it is The Sims or Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing in a board game. And from that perspective, it does that so well. And if you like those games, if you want that experience in a board game, I think Mythwind is going to be a great fit for you. But if you're wanting a narrative-driven campaign game, this may not be the game for you. So in Mythwind, you're building a village together, and it is very much the type of game, much like The Sims or Stardew Valley, where a lot of the game is just building resources, doing things more efficiently, and building towards having a more efficient engine. It is a long, drawn-out engine builder, but again, it's not a narrative-driven campaign. There's cards and there's narrative within the story and within the game, but a stranger came to town and offered you this, and you can do this choice or this choice. Which do you want to do? Okay, you chose option B. Great, you got 5 coins. Congratulations. Or you got some extra food. It is not a legacy campaign game. Now, because of what this game wants to be, and not wants to be, because of what this game is and what it is trying to set out to do, it does so incredibly well. You can see already the artwork is beautiful. The production is great. But the reason that this game is still in the box is because I think for what this game is, it does something so amazing. And that is, it is so quick to the table, because for you to get the most out of this game, you're probably going to play 10, 15, 20, maybe more games of it. We've played 5 games and have experienced so little of the content that is available, but we're also at the point with it that if it hasn't picked up by now, and I could be wrong, because again, we've played 5 games, but if there's not a deep narrative in this story that has started to come out after 5 games, they missed the mark there. And I don't think there is. I think it is, again, Sim City or The Sims. It is developing characters to have a better engine so that you can churn out resources, so that you can meet goals and objectives, but the goals and objectives aren't go explore this and solve this mystery. They are into the game with this many resources. So the reason that I started with this in the box is because I wanted to show you and demonstrate how well this game is designed from a quick to the table standpoint. So there's 4 characters. Each character has their own tray. And the expansion has extra characters, but in the base game, there's 4 characters. Each character has their own tray. And the way the trays are designed, You literally take them out. They all have storage built in, and everything you need for that character is in that tray. And then this is the main board tray. The box goes over there. It has some cards in there, but those are not cards that you're going to actively use immediately. They're cards that you're going to add in during the game. The lid comes off the main tray, and minor spoilers, because we are 5 games in and the way that this sets up, there's no way to reset it to a new game without undoing all of our work. So you're going to see, again, 5 games of progress, but this is the main board. You take it out. You have these 3 sections here. And with that, the main board is set up and you are ready to go. Everything is the way that we left it. These are all buildings that are upgradable. They have really nice recessed sections in the board so that you can easily get these out and swap them. Your resources are tracked over here. And because this is a snug, tight-fitting lid, nothing shifts while you move. We have our dice over here. There's a divider right here. So these are all the dice that are active. These are going to go onto the tower section here. These are available to us. The other dice we have not earned yet. And then we have our money. We have our event deck, our adventure deck. This is our end game objectives. And this is the weather deck. And the weather is what drives the flow of the game. You start the game with 9 weather cards. You may or may not earn more weather cards throughout the game, depending on what happens. I'll let you figure that out if you play. But the game is played over seasons. Each season, you're going to flip over a weather card, and that is going to start your day. You're going to do an action in the town, and you're going to do a character action, or you're going to resolve a town action and then resolve your character actions and your worker actions, and then you're going to start a new day, flip over a new weather card, and that's what drives it. The really cool thing about this game is you're not, because it's not a campaign game, because you are not developing a character, you have characters that you can play, but you're not developing a unique character and making decisions about their attributes and things like that. You're not tied to any single character. So this is a season. The weather deck gets you through a season, spring, summer, fall, winter. And at the end of a season, you can choose to play a different player. So we actually started out with the merchant and the ranger and decided to swap out to the crafter and the farmer just to play those 2. So again, that's how the main board sets up, and the characters set up just as easy. So take the lid off the farmer there. This is set up as I left it. Again, the lid is snug. You saw this box was on its end when I introduced the video. This is how it came out. Everything stayed put where it was supposed to be. All of these tokens would just come out and go next to the board. The farmer does have a lot of tokens. It's probably of the characters, it's probably the messiest in terms of just having piles of tokens next to it. But those are all set up, ready to go. These are my upgradable abilities. And this character is ready to go, and all 4 characters are that easy to set up. The ranger has some cards. They all have their own little bits, some cards that you're going to put out, but they are all that quick to the table. I think probably if I wasn't talking through this to you, I could set the entire game up in 2 minutes. And because this is meant to be a game that you are going to play and build on and play over and over, a virtually endless game, like SimCity, like Stardew Valley, it has to be quick to the table, and it does that really, really well. So there are 4 different characters. The farmer is going to be, and they range in complexity. The farmer and the crafter are the easiest. The merchant and the ranger, this is upside down. I'll let you see that artwork there. The merchant and the ranger are the most complex, or are the 2 more complex characters. I have personally played the farmer and the ranger. I really like the puzzle of the farmer. It's a little more, I think the farmer is the simplest of the characters, but I really like the puzzle. So the farmer is going to be building out their field. They're going to be growing and selling crops to gain money. Within the game, money is unique to the player. The players can't share money amongst each other, but the shared resources are what you're going to use to build buildings. So each player, each character is going to be earning money in their own unique way to then help upgrade the town. What you could say about it, like kind of a good way to describe it is that each character has their own set of their own little mini game that you're going to be playing. So you basically have 4 mini games that you're playing. Again, the farmer, you're planting, you're adding equipment, you're breeding cattle, you're selling those, you are increasing the value of your crops so that you can sell them for more money, so that you can then turn around and improve the village. And I think that's really where the core of the game, where the core of the breakdown was for me, of trying to figure out if I actually like this game, is what you're trying to do is earn money more efficiently so that you can upgrade stuff more efficiently, so that you can earn money more efficiently, so that you can upgrade, to earn money, to upgrade. Again, it is Sim City. You are going to start your first couple of games earning a few coins here and there. You're going to have upgradable abilities that slot in here. And it's really, again, I keep saying it wasn't a campaign. It wasn't heavy narrative. And that's what I was expecting. And that's, honestly, it was a little bit of a letdown, but I'm not, like, when I play Zelda, I play the mission. I don't get bogged down in the side quests. And if you do get bogged down in the side quests, if you love the side quests, this is very likely a game that you're really going to enjoy. If you want to get through that mission and get those achievements and be working towards dealing with conflict, there's no conflict, there's no fighting, there's no battles, there's no action in the game. It is an incredibly relaxing game to play. But again, it lacks the conflict and the narrative that you would want from a campaign game because it's not a campaign game. So the crafter is going to be fulfilling orders. They're going to be selling and creating. I haven't played the crafter. I'm just going off of what Allison told me. But their main thing is creating or getting materials that they can sell and earn money that way. The merchant is going to be buying and selling materials. They have other rival merchants that they're going to be buying and selling from, and they're going to adjust the price in their little market here, manipulating the market so that they can get a better value, earn more money. Again, there's upgradable abilities that they're going to use to do that more efficiently. And then the ranger is the ranger is a unique character because most of the other characters, like on your turn, you're going to pick a location to go to. You're going to send your character there. They're going to activate the ability of that location, and then they're going to resolve one of the character abilities on here. And then after they resolve their character abilities, you have the option to hire workers, which are represented by these dice. And you're going to use those workers to also resolve abilities. Now you have the villagers and you have sprites, and part of the game is kind of balancing your relationship with the land versus your relationship with the village. So they're color coded. The blue dice can activate the blue abilities. The orange dice can activate the orange abilities. So after I've done my character action, I can send my workers there to activate these abilities. So again, there is a very deep engine in the game that you can build to be really, really efficient, to really start churning out those resources. And it is really satisfying once you get that done. It just took a little longer than I would have hoped to get to that point. Now, the ranger is a unique character in that they are going to be leaving the village and going out into the woods to explore. The ranger has these cards that they're going to use as they explore. They have different things. They have the axe, they have traps, they have, that's a target that represents hunting. This is a compass, and then a backpack. So these are things that you can buy, you can get more of, and then this is my supply. I played the ranger my first 2 games. I played the farmer the last 3 games that we played. So essentially, you're going to be going out on expeditions. You're going to flip these cards over, and you're going to be going out on expeditions, and based on what you take with you, you're going to be resolving your preparedness, how well you're going to be resolving things and spending cards. And essentially the ranger's goal is to go out to hunt, to gather fur, to trap, to get wood, and come back and then sell those resources, again, to make money so that they can help upgrade the village. You're going to be upgrading the character. But the unique thing is the ranger is going to spend anywhere from 3, 4, I think up to maybe 5 days at a light adventure. You're going to have 3 of these, and each of these cards represents a day. In a grueling adventure, you're going to have 5 of those. So you may spend the majority of the season out of the village, not going to the village, doing that action. So again, they are very different puzzles for each character. And what I did like about the game is the option to switch and to go to use different characters as the game progresses. Again, if you play one and you don't really like that puzzle, you don't really like their mini game, you can easily at the end of the season switch to a new character. It's very much a game that if you chose to, like, I could step in, even though Allison and I have played all 5 of these games together, I could very easily step in and play a game on my own to kind of do some upgrades, maybe build up some money so that in our next game we can build some more buildings. Like, it's one that is, if you have a game group that's not consistent, that the same people aren't there every time, but you want to play a game that has kind of that shared experience, you could easily do that with this game. You do not have to have the same group of people playing every time. And if you had the time and you wanted to play all 4 characters by yourself, if you had the time and the space, and I could easily fit 2 characters here without spreading out to the sides of the table, but you could play a season with 2 characters and then play the next season with the other 2. There's nothing keeping you from swapping between characters other than, obviously, if you're switching to a new character, they're not going to have the upgraded abilities that you've built on those others, but it's very easy to swap back and forth. It is a very cathartic game. It's very relaxing. Again, I just don't know if for me, if it's a game that I'm going to want to invest the time in long term. Now, as far as the amount of content that there's so much content in this game. This is the deck of events and adventure cards that we've gone through. When you go to this location here, you can adventure. There's cards in here. It's going to tell you a little story. You're going to make a decision, flip it over, and resolve the decision that you made. So these are all the adventures that we've done. These are the events that we have done. And the events are mostly triggered by the weather deck. As you build up more buildings, there's more things you can do to resolve events faster. This is the event deck that we have unlocked that is left. Again, this is what we've done so far. This is what we have left that we have unlocked. Unlocked being the very important term there, because this is the event deck part of it that we have not yet gotten to. So at some point, make sure I don't mix these up backwards because they are all numbered. But at some point, if we continued playing, we would shuffle all of these events, or most of them. There are options that are given, like if you're at this point, shuffle in event number 22. If you're not, or if this happens, shuffle in event 23. So I don't think there would ever be a situation where we would go through all of the events. I think based on the choices you make, some aren't going to come out, but that's a lot of events. This is the adventure deck that we have not explored yet. And again, some of those are when you do certain things, it tells you to shuffle more cards in, but there's a lot of content there. I could easily see, based on the flow of the game so far, based on what we've done in 5 games, I could easily see this being 15, 20, 25 games worth of content if you wanted to keep playing. The great thing about it is because of how quick to the table it is, because of how easy it is to set up, it is a game that you could play, takes 2 minutes to put away, 2 minutes to take back out. If you don't want to leave it out on your table, you could easily take it out, put it away, take it out every night for a few weeks and play through it, or just when you want to play a couple games. I think, again, where this game really shines is in the production of it, because without that production, if it was a difficult game to get to the table, it would completely miss the mark of what it's trying to do. Because it is so quick to the table, it does it so well. It makes it a game that you can play all the time without having to leave it set up, versus you've played those heavy campaign games that they take up so much space and they're so cumbersome to get out. So I love the thought that went into the ease to and from the table in this game. There are also some secret envelopes. We're not going to open any of those or look at those, but there are secret envelopes that you will unlock during the game. Again, I know I've talked a lot. I know that there is, it's been a game that I have struggled to understand if I even like it. Again, not because it's good, because it's fantastic for what it is. I just don't know if what it is what I want in a board game. And I hope that in all of this rambling and talking about this, hopefully that's helped you understand what it is and if that's going to be a good fit for you, because ultimately I want to give you information so that you can decide if you want to invest your money in this, if you want to spend your money on this, or if you would rather spend it on something with a little more narrative, a little more campaign. Again, if this is your kind of game, you are going to eat it up. It is amazing for what it is. So this is Mythwind. It's on Kickstarter now. There's a bunch of expansion content also available with the Kickstarter that we have not played through. I'll leave links to the Kickstarter so you can check that out, and I'm sure it will be available in retail and on their website afterwards. So we'll leave links to all of that once the Kickstarter is over. If you have any questions at all, please leave me a comment. I'll be sure to answer that as quick as I can. Till next time, we'll see you later. Bye.